Welcome, Ashe, all that good stuff. I am here. I am here, and of course, being me, I like to wait till the last minute because something about that pressure of like having to perform at the last minute. It just energizes me. So even though I've been having the thoughts of this show in my head for several weeks, when did I decide to write my outline? About 11 o'clock this morning. So that's that's why I'm a little bit late. I was just putting the finishing touches on it. But I'm glad you guys are here for another Sunday sermon with me. We're going to talk today about something that I think is very, very important. And well, shoot, everything we talk about is important, but this is like one of those foundational things that even though I've talked about it, I've hit on it in other videos, I haven't really addressed this particular aspect of vetting a man and selecting a man for a mate. We've talked a lot about what not to look for, and we covered some things, just recently about a high value, like not choosing a low value man as the father of your child, and that was a kind of a separate checklist because I mean, a man might be a good man for you, but does that mean he's going to be a good dad to your children? There's separate excuse me, criteria for that. And so I felt like it was good that it's in a separate video because not every woman wants to have kids. So I mean, that might be anything that's even interesting to you. But if you want to be in any kind of relationship with a partner, this stuff would probably apply if you were even in a same sex relationship. But as I've said many times, no judgment here. I can only speak from the aspect. Excuse me, why am I coughing? I can only speak from the aspect that I have personal experience with. And so I approach things from a heterosexual point of view. But human behavior in relationships is probably a lot more, it's very general, very, very basic, and not really gender based. So, what I'm going to talk about today, let me look at my copious notes. Um, okay, I'm going to make notes of things that I really want to make sure that I talk about. Um, Generally, when people talk about a man being high value, I've noticed by looking on the wall here and doing the chats and on the comments posted that people tend to focus a lot on materialism. They focus on how much money a man makes, what he owns, what kind of job he has, maybe his education. I don't know. A lot about what he looks like, and of course his stroke game. Those are important things. Don't get me wrong, but that doesn't make a man have high value in the overall sense. I mean, maybe if you just want to get your swerve on and you're not trying to get in a relationship, a man whose stroke game is on point and who looks a certain way, and I mean, that might be all that you really care about. Your criteria checklist might only be two things. Stroke game, looks, bam, it's the deal. But for women who are looking for a partner, someone who is going to make them happy long term, there are certain things that you need to look for. Again, we've addressed this before. I did a two-video Sunday sermon about it a few weeks ago. You can go and check that playlist. But I want to talk about today some of the other things that we haven't really looked at. And I think young women are not being taught these things. The older women say, well, make sure you get you a man with a good job and make sure, you get you a man who this and that. But I mean, there's a lot more important things that are going to help make you happy long term than how much money he makes. I mean, you know what I mean? It does have its place. Don't get me wrong, but is his salary gonna keep you from being miserable in a marriage? And the answer to that is no. So that's what we're looking at some other things. All right. Yes, honey. I'm on the altar today because it's Sunday, and I'm doing my Sunday sermon. So I want to talk about the kind of stuff that's going to have the greatest impact on your happiness, your peace of mind, your stress levels, your ability to accumulate wealth and hold on to it. Okay, there's a two-pronged fork right there. Your career of success, your dreams of achievement, and even your mental and physical and emotional health. Because, you could be in a jacked up relationship, it'll take you down. I mean, just way down. You'll get sick, you get mentally ill, depressed, all that stuff. Okay. And I think that, you need to understand that the most important decision that you will ever make in your life, ladies, this is not to be taken casually. This is the most important decision that you make is the man that you allow into your heart. Who is he? What is he bringing to you? I don't want to say to the table because then that's going to put us right back in that material thing. I don't want you to think about that. Not today. You can think about that later. But today we're going to be looking at more intrinsic qualities that a man brings to you and your what do you call it? Extended family, um, his boss probably, and even the community as a whole. What does he bring of value to the people that are in his circle? This is important because if you choose the wrong dude, you choose the dude without really giving it too much thought to the stuff I'm gonna go over with you today, you will be miserable. You will be miserable. And it is the thing that you know, no matter what kind of way, whether the influence he has on you is positive or negative, think about this one thing. Do you understand that the men that you choose impact your life forever? They will forever have an impact on how you think about yourself, the memories that you have, the joy that you have. I mean, even if you get these things back, you're going to still have the memory of a time when you didn't have it. Do you understand what I mean here? This is critical to your life that you choose the right man and only the right man. Okay? I cannot. I mean, that's why this video is being on a Sunday sermon because I have to kind of preach about this. This is of overwhelming importance to the whole of your life. I mean, you know how many women get damaged by bad relationships, abusive relationships, men who beat their behind, who mess with their mind, who mess with their kids and ruin their children, who they have kids by who are all messed up. The man mistreats the children, so now the children got mental and emotional problems. Do you understand where I'm going with this? This person that you decide to mate with is going to impact not only you, but every single person that's close to you. You cannot continue to choose dusty ass bums and let them into your life, let them into your house, let them over your kids, let them over your mama. You cannot do that, ladies. You got to get your shit together. This is just ridiculous. And these things that I'm um talking about now, since I didn't really start doing this, like I said, until 11 o'clock today, I probably could have come up with a whole bunch of more stuff had I started working on this show earlier. But I think I hit on enough very important things that's going to get you in the right frame of mind to start thinking deeper about what I'm talking about. Okay, because 99.999% of the advice letters that come into this column and have been coming into me since 1992 have to do with women making poor choices for the men they allowed themselves to fall in love with, have children with, and marry. You didn't look behind the door. Now, I'm not saying that's your fault. As I said at the top of the show, you can only learn this kind of stuff when you have a teacher. Most of your mamas don't know this stuff themselves, so please don't get mad at them for not teaching you. Okay, because nobody taught them. But you gonna break that cycle. Okay, you about to break that wide open. So we are gonna do some interesting work here. This is again prep work for February because you got to start adjusting your minds to what's coming in February. Because I'm gonna be on y'all with both shoes. It's gonna be rough. Y'all probably not gonna want me to do February anymore after this. But this is key. Okay, so let's think. Let's go here. Now, the thing I also want to talk about is a lot of you are upset because you single, right? You let men online or in your family or, wherever you meet them, get in your head, and other women do this silly, simple shit too, and tell you how wrong it is to be single, how it's bad, how you going to end up with cats and all this kind of stuff here. Let me tell you something. Most of the women that's in mental institutions are in there because of men. Okay, because some bad interaction they had with one or more males. Okay, they just not the same. That's what I'm telling you. This is key. So you have to consider the fact that your greatest opportunity for self fulfillment and self actualization is when you're single and you don't have any children, uncoupled and unfettered. You can make moves like there's no tomorrow. You can go anywhere in this world that you please. You can pick up tomorrow, pack all your stuff, and sell it on eBay, and go to the other side of the world. Why? Because you're single, and you could do that. Especially if you speak a foreign language or something, you got it made. Okay, you can go anywhere in this planet, make a living, and be happy over there somewhere. You can't make moves like that when you got a husband whining about, well, you my wife and what you do represents me and this and that. And you have to, I mean, some of it is real. Like you somebody's mama. You can't be dressing like a hoochie mama up and down the street. You got a teenage son. All your son's going to come in the house and get a boner because you showing all your titties and ass. That's not how you do around young males, especially young males that are your children, your brother, little brother. You can't be doing that kind of stuff. It looks trashy and hoish. Okay, you got a bunch of adolescents coming around so they can get their dick hard, looking at you dressed like you got some goddamn sense and conduct yourself like an adult. So, these are all the kind of things that you have to think about when you have other people in your life that are important to you and that are looking to you for an example, looking to you for caretaking. Okay, you just have to consider their feelings, okay, a lot. And not all of those are bad, like I'm saying, but you still have to consider them. You can't be flip flopping around and going crazy when you have a husband and you have kids, you have in laws, and everybody's looking at you and how you conduct yourself. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying all of those things are bad, but what I'm saying is once you decide to put that shackle on, it might be a wonderful shackle. You might really love it, but it's still a shackle. You can't make the moves that you can make when you are single, you don't have no husband, and you don't have no kids. Okay? So keep that in mind. This is why it is very important before you give up all that freedom, all that autonomy, and all that independence, complete control over your money, your time, your body, your household, everything else, all your assets. You're going to have to start sharing that with somebody. Before you give that up, you better know who you're giving it up for. And it better be a smart choice. Okay, so let's get started here. Let's talk about um, where am I going to put these papers? Ooh, my desk is a hot mess. Okay, what makes a man low or high value? That's where I started. You think about it, when we dream of, who's our perfect man as a teenager and young girl and stuff, every woman has a vision of what that man, I mean, some of it might include what he looks like, but I think most of our dreams have to do with how he makes us feel. Because when you think about, he makes you feel loved, he makes you feel secure, he makes you feel protected, he makes you feel sexy, he makes you feel adored. I mean, those are the kind of things that, women, once they cut through, really are focusing on how that man makes them feel. So when you look at it in that context, his money and his job and his titles and all that stuff are kind of secondary to how he, conducts himself in a relationship with you. So that's what high value means. It's not his external social things, it's the value that he brings to you as a woman in your relationship. That's the value that I'm going to be talking about today. Okay. You don't want to focus on the material things. You want to talk about behaviors and attitudes and his treatment of you, how he talks to you, the things he does for you. Okay, so let me go in and start. I'm glad to see everybody here. Or let me, greet you all. Thanks for showing up. It's an odd time because usually I'd like to do the Sunday sermons kind of earlier in the day, but I knew I wasn't going to do what I was supposed to do until about that time. So that's why it's in the early afternoon. And for some of you, it's early evening. So let me go over this list. I have a list of 14 of I think common. Like I said, I pulled these out of the advice letters that have come across the channel recently. 14 very common low value man traits. And these are all from letters that have come across, like I said, in 2020. All of these women in these relationships are married to, are talking to, or in some kind of committed relationship situation with men who have said these things to them or behaved in these ways. And each one of these things indicate that you're dealing with a low value bum. Okay? Let me start. Point number one, trait number one. To him, yo no. Thanks, Ian. Yo no is the beginning of a negotiation to get what he wants out of you. What does that really mean? That you said no and he's like, I'm not trying to hear that. Okay, so that's the lack of respect. He don't care what you're talking about. He wants what he wants and you gonna give it to him. And he's gonna pressure you and pound you until you do and have all kinds of jacked up attitude about it if you don't. Now, a lot of you are intimidated by that. And you're like, oh, I just did it because he said no, or I just wanted him to stop asking me. But you don't have no legs? You don't have no car keys, a bus pass, a phone to call Uber, anything you need to do to get away from him so he can't be asking you that no more. I mean, why do you stay there and let somebody treat you like that? See, I don't understand that kind of behavior. And basically, what you're doing when you let him beat you down like that with his low value ass is you're teaching him that you don't mean what you say and that, what he wants is more important than what you want for yourself. That's what you're basically teaching him by giving in after you said no. And a lot of you are like this with your kids, too. You let your kids treat you the same way. You say no to them, and then here they come. But mommy, mommy, please, mommy, mama, 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 please, 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 mama, please, please. And then eventually they know if they ask enough, you'll give in instead of beating their ass. I said no, and when I say no, that's what I mean. Bring your ass over here so I can let you understand what no means from here on out. Okay. But you do that with your kids and you do it with your men. And so nobody really respects you because you don't stand up to it. Now, is this your problem? Yes, you need to work on that, which I will be helping you do in February. But does the person who does this to you, is this person low value? Kids, you can't really say yet because they're little spoiled brats and they don't, they're outside of the realm of this. We're talking about grown ass men that you're in relationship with. It's starting from like 16 on up. You say no, and they start, why? Why not? Well, you gonna like it. Well, just come on, come on. They're they're trying to get what they want out of you while you sacrifice yourself, your boundaries, your values, your morals, whatever, your car, your money, your house, or whatever it is, you don't want to give it to them. You don't want to do it, and they're gonna try to pressure you into it anyway. These dudes, the ones who's low value, they don't want to accept your no because you're a woman as far as they're concerned. You're supposed to give them what they want. You're here for their convenience. They're going to get angry. They're going to get resentful. They're going to punish you, pouting, give you the silence treatment, all kind of stuff. And y'all get afraid of that. But don't be afraid of that because understand that's a dusty, low value bum who treats you like that. Why are you afraid of losing that? You should be helping him pack because he's showing no respect. Understand this too. If you, especially those of you be getting with dudes, and you have teenage daughters, and he won't take your no. Do you think he gonna accept theirs? Be fucking real, okay? And then be wondering why shit be happening to your kids, okay? It's the character of the man. If he does not accept no from you, and you the mama, you his mate, please tell me how you think he's gonna accept no from a 10-year-old girl. Do I make myself clear? This shit is deep, and you need to really be thinking about this on a bigger scale than what y'all do. Okay? Understand that this guy, when a guy is like that, his ego is so fragile that he cannot stand the fact that somebody doesn't want to give him what he wants when he wants it. His ego is tied up to you saying yes, because then he'll feel successful. He can't feel successful on his own. He has to get it from a woman. And I'll be going into this a little bit more too. Number two, he puts you down. Low value men are insecure. Low value men will try to reduce a woman's self esteem to like nothing, and make her feel like she's like garbage, and so that no other man would ever want her except for him, and that she's lucky that even he has acquiesced to her nothingness to accept her as his woman. It's a mind game. You know, they try to control your money. They try to control your access to other people who could have influence over you. They really super try to control your access to other men, you know, the men's access to you. And then to make you feel insecure, they want you to, you know, they want to make you feel insecure so that you stay with them, so you doubt yourself. And they try to induce guilt in you just to keep you involved with them. So sometimes they'll go, like we heard in some recent letters, as far as to threaten suicide, because they want you to feel responsible for it. So they it hit you with that, which, you know, does work on most women. They're afraid then to leave because what he might do to himself. You see what I mean? See how that works? That is a low value man who pulls that kind of stunt. Number three, their low value men are critical of everybody else. Okay, I talked about how he's critical of you, but he's also critical of everybody else. And he puts them down too. He don't stop at just you. Sometimes even going on your kids, your family, your mama, you know, everybody, your hobbies, your interests, they just go in, they're just critical about everything. They always got something to say that's nasty and evil. He wants you to feel unworthy, right? Because that's how he feels about himself. He's scared, he's insecure. And so he wants to stay in his small little hole of mediocrity. And he wants you to feel like it's okay to stay there with him, because by him putting down all these other people, see, he's trying to lower them, lower than where he is. Okay, am I doing this right? So he's here, right, where he should be way up there somewhere. He's over here, down here somewhere. And he wants to make you believe everybody else is even lower than him so that you'll feel okay about being with his mediocre ass. Okay. He needs to feel like he's on top. He needs to be thought of as a good man. These are the ones who always will tell you, well, I'm a good man. You know what? If you really were, you wouldn't need to say it. You wouldn't even be trying to brainwash me with that. Your behavior and your actions would be showing it. So, sir, as soon as you hear a man say, I'm a good man, know that he's trash and he's low value. Okay? He's not. Men who are confident and secure about themselves never say stuff like that. They let their actions speak for them so you can see it. Okay? You see what kind of dude he is. He don't need to tell you. And you, what you missed, I knew you're gonna have to listen to the video because it's too much for anybody to give you a recap. Um, yeah, he's just defensive and touchy, and I mean, it's like every time I even have a conversation with him, you can't even criticize him about anything that he did or said to you, because you know he's in this mode where he's better than everybody else. So how can he possibly be wrong since he's better than everybody else? You see what I mean? That's fighting an uphill battle. Number four, he's focused on what other people think about him. He is very concerned about his image. You know, we had a letter recently where a girl was talking about how her boyfriend was always talking about her hair and, you know, all the stuff. I mean, it was important to him that he look a certain way, that people perceive him to be a certain thing. And I had a dude that when I used to be on TV here in the Bay Area, and I went to this, I don't know, this club and stuff. You know, I mean, you know, when you're on TV, people recognize you. And I was dressed real, I mean, cute, but simple. And he was just outdone. He was like, you should have on a suit and you should have this and that. And he was just all put out because of what I had on. And I'm looking at him like, dude, this is going to be the last time I hang out with you. We wasn't even dating. I think he was trying to get there. But after that little stunt, I was like so too through. He was too invested in what people thought of him based on what I wore. I'm like, where they do that at? But that's just an example of the type of thing. And you have men who say that, you know, their wife is a reflection of them and all this kind of stuff. And it's, I mean, to a certain extent, yes, you don't want to go around flirting with all the men and dating around and stuff like that. I mean, because then that would be a reflection on him. But you're just walking up and down the street wearing jeans and tennis shoes versus high heels and you know, fancy clothes. That's not reflecting on him in any kind of way. So it's very interesting how they really, and their vehicles, and being a crowd to talk about what they own, and showing people they new toy that they got, and talking about it's a trip being around men like that. They are so empty inside. They have to feel like they're filled up and there's somebody by what they own, their toys, the woman that's on their arm, the size of their house. I mean, all this kind of stuff. It's all external stuff where they get to feel like, well, I'm somebody because I have this, or this person. Everyone can look at this person and think I'm better because of her, and this kind of stuff. It's a trip. Number 5, I have this mentality that birds of a feather flock together. So you have these dudes, right? And you notice that all his friends are like bums, scallywags, ain't shit niggas. Okay, let me just be blunt. They ain't none of them worth 10 cents on credit between the whole group. Okay, they all ain't shit motherfuckers, all of them. But because they are like jobless and he has a job at Pack and Save, well, that makes him better than them, right? A lot of them will brag because they're married. Is that really an accomplishment? But they're, well, I'm married, so, you're supposed to listen to them more because they're married. Don't matter if it's a good marriage, he's treating his wife right. He just married, so he holds that over other friends, people's heads because they're not. So he feels like it's like a badge of honor for him. These kind of dudes are really a trip. But what he does in general is he will associate himself with people who are no higher than him or preferably lower, because that is how he gets to feel like he's somebody, like he gets to feel like he's achieved something, like he's like this baller, and he's like the dude, because he gets to point to those people and say, well, I'm not like them. He's a drunk, he been to prison, he's this and that. So he has these kind of people in his social circle so that he can feel better than them. And you not really understanding what's at work here. You say, well, yeah, my man ain't been to jail, and my man this, and my man that, not realizing your man is a bum. Okay, there's like degrees of bummery. Okay, your dude might be level 5 and his friends are level 9, but he's still a bum, lady. Okay, you still got a dusty bum for a man. Just because he got a job at Pack and Save, that don't mean nothing. The rest of the time he's sitting around, he don't be reading no books, he over there blazing up, playing video games and stuff like that, and you okay with that. While you struggle working 2 jobs and using coupons and patching up your bras and stuff because y'all don't have no money. I wish. Number 6, he's stupid and he has low levels of emotional intelligence. Okay, this the guy, the dude you try to explain something to him. He don't ever understand nothing. You the women that want to sit around and talk about, well, how could I make him understand? That motherfucker either already understand and just pretending like he don't, or he really doesn't understand, in which case you're dating an idiot. Okay, so either way, that's a bad scene. That's somebody that that fish need to be thrown back. Okay, that he ain't that ain't it. He just dumb as a rock. Now I made a whole video about emotional intelligence, and basically it incorporates I don't know, I'd say maybe 4 key traits. Emotional intelligence chiefly has to do with you understanding yourself. What are the things about yourself that you maybe even don't like, but how you perceive the world, how you roll, what's important to you, that kind of thing. You understand where your bottom line is, all that kind of stuff. You understand that about yourself. Not only do you understand about yourself, you understand about other people. Okay? You understand. Sometimes just by looking at people, you can read their emotional state. A person with that ability has extremely high emotional intelligence. So understand the I'm sorry, the emotional state of others. Like you see someone, and they're standing there, right, and they're saying, I'm fine, but there's tears coming down their eyes. Okay, well, obviously they're not fine. But if you're stupid and you don't have any emotional intelligence at all, you'll be like, oh, well, she said she was fine. Hello? That kind of stuff. They're just really kind of interesting. And the final thing that's important about people to have high levels of emotional intelligence is that the ability to manage their relationships. They manage their relationships, it may be with their bosses or coworkers. It may, and usually it's with you. problematic children, in-laws, I mean, whatever. These are people who have the ability to manage relationships. You see dudes who can defuse a situation where people's tempers are really high. He can identify with the guy who's upset. He can identify with the other person who's upset. But by his understanding of that, he's able to calm them both down, prevent the situation from turning violent, and to have everybody shaking hands and talking at the end of it. That's the dude right there. You got a dude that's got that kind of ability. He is one of a kind. Okay, but they do exist. Maybe not as that powerful, but they are out there. Okay, now let's talk about the men that's on my number 7 point list. This the stingy tit for tat dude. Right now, I'm covering some of the things because I got to cover what makes a man high value, but I also got to address what makes him low value, right? So you know the difference. Too many of you all have men that's in this group. This is the low value men list that I'm going over right now. Then I'm going to go over the high value at the end so you can see the difference. So you got this tit for tat type of dude. Oh my God. They wear me out. Well, I did this and that for you, so you need to do this and that for me. What are we having a contract deal here with corporate negotiation, acquisition? What are we doing? Why do you want to measure everything and we supposed to be in a relationship where we give freely to each other? But this dude keeps a scorecard. He don't never want it to get too far out of balance. So he's gonna keep it within that 2 to 3 point range. Then he does something that's worth 3 points for you. Well, now you got to come back and do something worth 10 points for him so he could feel good about it. Oh my God, I can't stand twos like that. The second they say anything about, well, I did blah 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 for you, I'm done. It's a wrap. I'm telling you. I just don't have it in me. I've always been like that though. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Did I tell you to do it? You claim you did it because you wanted to, but now I got to hear about it. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Don't come back. I'm not trying to be bothered with you and your shit. I don't have the patience. So when these letters come through here, and the women be talking about the dudes be treating them like that. I just be like, where they do that at? Cause I just can't. I know we're not gonna be bothered with any nonsense like that. But they do it. He just cheap and he's stingy. He's cheap and stingy with you. He's cheap and stingy with other people. He don't want to give nothing. Well, back in 1977, I asked that fool for a piece of his bubble gum and he didn't give it to me. So no, I'm not gonna help him save his house, even though it's gonna put him and his kids in the street. And I'm a loan officer. That kind of stuff. Okay. These are the men, I'm telling you, these are the dudes that, they have sons, right? And you be like, oh, you should teach your son, blah, 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 blah. Why should I do that? Nobody ever taught me. Okay, don't you want your kid to be better than you and have it a little bit easier? No. That's how tit for tat they are. If they didn't get it, they're not going to give it. And if you didn't give it to them, you ain't going to get it. And if you only gave me X, all you're going to get back from me is Y. That's how they are. They're constantly measuring everything. They are very poor choices for partners and extremely poor choices for fathers. Don't do it. Don't even hire them for an employee because you're going to be on some bullshit. And he is not gonna offer to help you. Even when you ask him, he gonna be like all, grudgeful about it and stuff, and you gonna have to hear about it later. These kind of dudes are just a waste of time in a relationship where you wanna be, you wanna freely give to your man and know he's gonna freely give to you too. That's when you have to be able to express the most love for each other. But if you gotta constantly be holding back because you don't want to be in a situation where you don't want giving, 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 and he don't ever give you nothing back at all, then you would be a fool to stay in that relationship and keep giving to him. So it kind of forces you to become a little stingier with your loving gestures because, you know that you're not going to get anything back. It's terrible. It's terrible. Let's look at number 8. And how many times have y'all heard me say this lately? These are the unassertive, weak, milk toast pushover types of dudes. I remember when I pulled that word out a couple of weeks ago, everybody was like all over Google trying to figure out milk toast. What's that mean? Oh, one of my favorite words. But I mean, it's so appropriate in this case. These are the dudes, they just don't have no spine. You just wonder if he got any testosterone in his entire body. They're just very weak. They're very weak. They're very insecure and they're extremely fearful. He never will stand up for himself. So, need to understand if he ain't standing up for himself, don't expect him to stand up for you. You looking for him to have your back and, be your, what you call that? I can't think of the word right now. your wingman and all this stuff, it's like, it's not gonna happen. He's gonna run away because that's how he is. He's scared. He won't say anything when he should. Even when it's just about him and his resources and it's about other dudes, he's not gonna say anything. It's really weird. And in relationships, these are the types whose women run them. They mamas run them, even if they're married. They're just weak ass men. Don't marry one of them. Do not have no kids by a dude like this. You will be miserable. Every day you feel like you're gonna realize you're like, wait a minute, I got to be the woman and the man too in this relationship. What the fuck I need him for? And then that's when you file for divorce because you realize you married a wussy. You had a kid by a punk bitch motherfucker. And now you got somebody who's like another kid. You got little kids in diapers and you got this 6 foot tall, 200 pound sucker with a mustache, whining like a baby. You got to take care of him. Oh my God, I just don't understand what y'all be doing. Like I said, I'm mentioning these things. I'm not blaming you because a lot of you, like I said, you just don't know. I have a lot of young women coming to this channel and they don't understand that what people have been telling them all their lives about how to choose a man is wrong, wrong, wrong. People focus on the wrong stuff. Well, does he have a good job? Is his sex game on point? What he looks like? What he driving? What he wearing? That's stupid. That's stupid. That's not how you choose a man. Okay, but that's all that's all that you've ever been told. You don't know any different. I'm trying to educate you so that you can pick somebody that makes sense. Okay? Not just doing what everybody else said is a good man. You need to pick one that's gonna give you what you need. Yeah, big ass babies. Oh, 6 foot tall baby. You won't give it to me. And then some of them actually will physically start moving around like they're throwing a fit, doing this kind of stuff and doing their hands like this. I just don't get it. Okay, so yeah, so anyway, everybody can, just push them over. They just constantly like let other people walk over them, impede on their boundaries, take their stuff. I mean, they just never stand up for themselves. And if the dude can't stand up to his own mama, you can forget it. You can forget it. If you got a problem with your man and something happens and he don't check his family for how they talk to you or how they address you and stuff, you walk away. Walk away. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because he's a milk toast. You gonna be his mother's gonna be running your relationship. Or his ex or his kids. I mean, whatever it is. He's not gonna be able to do it himself because he's weak. And there's nothing worse. Oh my God, I don't even understand how y'all want to sleep with somebody who's weak like that. I would just be so turned off. It would be like all my juice would go. It would never happen. Okay, so let's talk about that was point number 8. How many of these things do I have? I have 14. Number 9, he's thirsty as hell. These dudes, they thirsty. These are the type that send you dick pics online, right? They talk about sexual things at inappropriate times, like when they first met you. Inappropriate conversation, just like so juvenile and stupid. And they try to push up on women. These are the ones that want to follow you down the street. They driving by, trying to holler at you out their car. I mean, just low value all the way around. These are also the types that when they ask you for your number or what your name is or something, you're not interested. You say, I'm not interested. No, thank you, or no. Oh, they gonna get mad. Well, you was an ugly bitch anyway. Man, 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 and stuff. And some of the more violent ones, they want to strike out at women and stuff like that. Chase you down the street, calling you names, all kind of crazy stuff. Low value. Actually, I would kind of put them in the category below that. No value. Okay, they ain't about nothing. Nothing. And what's so interesting for the dudes who are listening to this, if that's you and that's your behavior pattern and women don't want to give you their number, don't want to talk to you, please understand that she recognized the fact that you was on this list of no and low value men. She felt it. Women are very, very, very sensitive to that kind of stuff. We can feel stuff about you. We might not even know why we think it, but we felt it. So she could tell by the way that you looked, the way you walked, the way your voice inflections were, the body language that you had, that you ain't shit. So she don't want to be bothered with you, and that's why she said no. She don't want your number. She picked up on the fact that you a ain't shit motherfucker, and so just understand that women know. They always know. Sometimes they talk themselves out of it because they feel guilty or I should give them a chance and all this old kind of stuff. But they always know you ain't shit. And those the smarter ones just get rid of you up on the front end. The other ones get rid of you on the back end. So I want everybody to be on the front end. Okay. Oh yeah, these thirsty dudes. Oh my God, they are just the fucking worst. And the ones I was telling you to smile thirst. They thirst. They just want to have something to say. They just have to have something to say. It's like this. Why was I putting my air in my tire too at the gas station? Right. This thirsty booger bear is gonna come walking. Okay, the pumps are over there. You know how they had an air station like off to the side, and so I'm way over there on the other side. Like yards and yards away from him. He gonna leave his car at the pump, walk all the way across the gas station to where I am, and talk about hi. I'm looking around because I'm trying to, use the thing. The pumps are interesting now because you just tell them how much you want to put in there. You don't even need a little meter thing anymore. And it just fills up. Then it goes beep when it's full. I'm like, oh, this is great. So I'm figuring out how to use it, right? And so he going to walk across there talking about, oh, hi, how you doing today? So I look around trying to see who he talking to because there was nobody over there when I pulled up. And I'm thinking he must be talking to somebody else, right? He talking to me. I said, why are you over here? And he's like, well, I just came to say hi. I said, I don't want to say hi to you. Get away from me. Leave me alone. Well, that's so rude and stuff. I'm like, Kanye shrug. I mean, what you want from me? If I wanted to talk to you, I would have been over there talking to you. That's how I am. If I see something I want, I make a beeline for it. I don't need you to come chasing me around all over the place. I'm just, I was just too outdone. And he was like, well, that's rude. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Just go away. Leave me alone. Okay, so then I did what I need to do, and he was just standing there pumping the gas in his car, looking at me all twisty faced. I'm like, "Psh, nigga, you need to pay me if you want me to smile and talk to you. I need some money." Okay, so anyway, yeah, these thirsty dudes. Oh, what? And the thirsty ones too. Okay, they want to text you 20, 30, 50 times a day. What you doing? WID. What WID? All day long. You thirsty fucker. Do something with yourself. Aren't you working? You should be doing something to make some money. Read a book. Do something with yourself. And then or they want to talk to you on the phone for 4 or 5 hours every damn day. You exhausted because you trying to, comply with his stupid demands for attention. Instead of telling him, look, I need to go to bed. It's 10 o'clock. I got to get up at 6 in the morning. I need my rest. Bye. But y'all don't do that. You just stay on the phone to be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You still on the phone. No, you got to get up and go to work the next day. You going in there with bags under your eyes, looking all crazy and half functioning. I don't even understand that. Okay, he's thirsty. Anyway, the man who had something to do, he would be getting off the phone because he would need his rest too because he got a busy day at work tomorrow. He's a mover. He's a shaker. He got some shit going on. He wouldn't be staying on the phone talking about nothing for 4 or 5 hours a day. Who does that? You on the phone that long, you should be getting paid. That means you need to work at a call center. You like talking on the phone that much. That is just as crazy. That's crazy to me. Number 10, low value men think women owe them something. You owe them a date, a time, the time, your time, some attention, a smile, your number, whatever. They just feel like or some booty. Oh boy, and don't be in a relationship with them. Well, we in a relationship. That's your job is to you're supposed to give me what I want and all this kind of stuff. They feel like they own you or something. It's really bizarre. And it's because you're in a relationship, and then understand if you got married to him, it would be worse because that a lot of they change already when you just go from girlfriend boyfriend to husband and wife because they feel like in their mind that injects some kind of license to own you or something. I don't get it. I don't understand that mentality, but we're doing high value and low value. I'm on the list of low value right now. I'm going to go on to the line of the high value because I pulled these out of the low value traits out of advice letters that have come across this channel in 2020. That's as far as I went back. 2020. That's where every single one of these behaviors was culled from. Okay? Advice letters that came across this channel. Okay? Thank you. Oh, I got a Christmas present. Oh, plus I have to take a moment and thank Jim Doll. Jim Doll sent me some Christmas presents. She's so sweet and sent me some stuff to enjoy, one of which I better have some tea because my throat's feeling scratchy. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm not feeling it, so I want to arrest it. So thanks, Jim Doll. She's always coming up with, sending me stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, especially some booty. Ooh, honey, they just feel like you owe them all kind of stuff. you in a relationship, you his wife, whatever, you know, you owe him on demand. That's what that means. So better understand that before you marry somebody who's got that kind of mentality. Number 11, he is jealous. Low value men are jealous as hell. Oh my God. And they try to control you. They try to control you in subtle ways. They try to control you in overt ways. They try to control you in covert ways. They just try to control you in every way possible. Okay, some of them are real bad with it. They don't even want you to work so you can, be at home and he can control all the money. A lot of you fall for that because you think that you want to be taken care of. You want to be a stay-at-home mother. That's some dummy. I mean, it's good to be able to stay at home with your kids. Don't get me wrong, but to think that that should be your lifestyle choice and that there's not going to be some major sacrifice that you have to give for that, it's control. That's what they really want. So you be careful with that. And I'm not saying every man is that way, but too many are. So, just watch it. If you want to spend money, well, what are you spending that on? Well, why do I need to report to you like I'm a kid? Well, he's going to feel like he's the one making the money, so it's his money. And then he's going to have the right to tell you what you can and can't do with it. Right? Um, they try to control what you wear, how you wear your hair, how much makeup you wear, where you go, who your friends are, how much time you spend with people outside the house, all kind of stuff. How much time you on the phone, who you can talk to on the phone, who could be your friends. Like you can't have no male friends. They got, it's always some drama about that. Well, you need to stay at home. You somebody's mama. You somebody's wife. Why you need to run the streets like that? So, all of these are things, to control what you do, where you go, and who you do it with, your access to other people, your freedom, and your ability to spend money. All of those things. And these are what they try to do, and they'll be very jealous about it. His main thing is he's afraid of losing you. He knows he is, his self-esteem is shaky and he's all kind of fucked up in his attitudes, but he's hoping you don't figure that out and leave him. So they try to, the jealousy thing becomes with berating you. Well, what you need to wear all that for? Put on some damn clothes and, this kind of stuff. Like I said, there's a fine line there. Do you really need to be somebody's mama dressing like a stripper going out to the grocery store? Come on now. It's fine you all want to do that at home with your husband. I'm not telling you can't do it, but there's a time and a place for everything, right? Okay. You go, the pastor gonna see you out, see you out looking like that. You'll be like, oh, what's going on here? So there's a time and a place for it. I'm not saying every concern that a husband has about how his wife dresses in public is uh, controlling. But when they want to tell you, well, I don't like that dress, and it's just a dress, it's just a regular dress. I mean, I don't want you wearing red, you're looking like a harlot and all this kind of stuff. Well, then that's stepping into different territory. All right. But basically, he doesn't want to admit that he has fears and weaknesses. They're going to try to flip it around so it's something that you did wrong. It's your fault. So then it becomes your responsibility to fix his jealousy and insecurity, which a lot of you will do. You will try to do, well, I'm trying to make him feel better. That's a black hole. You're going to never fill it up. If he wants to be jealous, just let him be jealous. Like, what you want me to do? Kanye shrug again. I'm not responsible for your insecurities and your fears, motherfucker. See a shrink for that. That's what they have shrinks for. Make that magic happen and get out of my face. Number 12, he's not dependable. He's just totally undependable and disappointing. He disappoints you time and time and time again. A lot of you put up with this, and I talked about this too, how you will have plan A is where he's supposed to step up and do what he's supposed to do. But you already know he's half-stepping, just trifling. So you going to have plan B, C, D, and E, and you involving all your girlfriends and your relatives and all the stuff over to do something for you that your man that you fucking should be doing. That's his job. But you already know he's not going to do it. Okay, why are you messing with somebody who leaves you hanging like that? Why are you giving your love, time, and energy to someone who's not giving it back to you except when it's convenient for him to do so? He's not there to meet your needs. He's only there when it's, something that he wants. Then he's all in your face. Nope. These low value dudes, they cancel plans. They don't show up on time. They half do what they're supposed to do. Remember the story I told you about the dude that I'm invited to dinner? I'm cooking, right? I'm cooking. He's supposed to bring a bottle of wine. He shows up at my house empty handed. He didn't bring the wine. I said, well, where's the wine? At the door. I'm at the normal dude. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot it. I was in such a rush to get here, blah, blah, blah. Where's the nearest store? And then he would have made that Yui and get, even though he might have kind of got lost on the way back, but um, he would have went and got what he needed to do. So he came back with the wine, which he promised that he was gonna bring me. But this one he just came and just pushed by and went and sat on the couch and just waiting for dinner. I politely put all my stuff in my Tupperware and put it in the refrigerator. And he's like, well, when are we going to eat? I said, well, I'm going to eat later, but you're not eating at all because you didn't bring what you were supposed to bring. Well, that's fucked up. I drove all the way out here. I'm like, what you want from me? You promised some wine. You didn't bring it. I promised some dinner. I didn't do that either. So it looks like we both fucked up today, huh? Nigga. You know what I mean? So you don't let them get away with that kind of stuff. He was so outdone. Dude was so through with me. You think I cared? And I had made jambalaya too. I just waited till he left and called over somebody else. Bring me some wine. He brings two. Okay? That's what I'm saying. That's how you're supposed to be responsive. I like wine. You trying to get me a little tipsy so, things will happen, right? You would think dude would have had that much sense. But he thought, I don't know what he thought really to tell you the truth because I never talked to him anymore after that. But yes, that's why you always keep a backup plan. I was like, I made jambalaya. You hungry? Oh, yeah. But I'm just getting off of work. I'm going to go home and clean up. I'll be there in about an hour. Okay. Yes, it's going to be gumbo season. I'm going to Diana's house because she going to have gumbo. I'm not making none. I'm gonna be calling up people. What you cooking? And then I'm gonna think about, ooh, which menu do I want to eat today? Which bum? Whose house am I gonna go over to bum a meal? This is terrible. This is terrible. These kind of men are awful. I got two more super low value behavior traits that are very common. Number 13 is he is a defeatist. I have an article on survivingdating.com. I wrote that probably, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago called about defeatist men and their attitudes. You might want to go over there and read it. I'll try to see if I can link to it down below. But if I remember you, that's so iffy. But these guys, okay, so something happens, right? And it is a challenge, okay? So he, rather than think, wow, this is an opportunity for me to, to come up, he's like, well, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know nothing about that. I was just gonna fuck it up anyway. Blah blah blah. So he's already defeated himself before he even, tried. He's not even gonna try to get a home run. He's gonna stay on the bench because he's afraid of striking out. Yeah, you can strike out, but you can also hit that home run, and you can bring everybody home that's on the bases. Okay, that one home run could bring on 3, 4 players. But you don't see it that way. This is a guy who just already failed before he ever even tried. And a lot of them have that attitude. So you put all this energy trying to pump him up. Baby, you could do it. You could do it. You're wonderful. You're this, you're that, all this stuff. I mean, somebody might need a little bit of that. Don't get me wrong, because everybody suffers, a little bit of insecurities and doubts. What I'm talking about is a repetitive pattern. Okay, I'm not talking about one specific incident or only when certain types of things happen. I'm talking about that's his overall attitude about everything or most things. He's not going to even try because he's afraid of failure. Um, and a lot of them, because of that, right, their weaknesses and their lack of get up and go, they're depressed. They have mental illness issues. They taking all kind of drugs and stuff. Are they smoking the herbalicious all the time, or doing even worse than that? They sit on the couch and play video games. They have no drive, no ambition, no goals, no nothing. And y'all want to be with them. And you try to fill in the blanks for these types of dudes. He got some little half-time, part-time job, and you're going to get 2 full-time jobs to make up for it instead of making him get a full-time job. If you get a full-time job and you pay your fair share, you get the fuck out. Those are your 2 choices. You got 30 days. Stuff like that. Because if you're paying all the bills by yourself anyway, then you could do it. Just work a couple of hours overtime here and there. You'll be all right. You don't really need him if he's not really contributing like that. Get rid of him. They have poor grooming. They be stuck in a rut. They're boring as hell. They don't never have nothing sensible to talk about. because they don't have any goals, don't have any ambition, they have no dreams. So everything to him is just a risk of failure. So his conversation is negative and nasty and just a downer, and just you hate talking to him. It's like nothing. Even if you talk to him about your dreams, he's gonna poke holes in it and tell you why it's not gonna work, why you shouldn't even try it, stuff like that. Oh my God, I cannot be around men like that. I don't. I just can't be around them. Sometimes you know that your dream might not succeed, but it's still your dream. I mean, that's what's motivating you. I'm still mad about this dude, and I still have his number blocked on my phone. And every so often he will call, because I know it pops up, do not answer number 13, and I know who it is. Okay, so I was going to my gym, right, and I was doing this. They had this like membership uh, competition thing for 90 days to see how much body fat you could lose and how many pounds and inches or how much muscle you could gain, some shit like that. And it was divided by different age categories, which made it more fair, and divided by gender. So the men had 3 or 4 categories, the women had 3 or 4 categories. So in my category, I was trying to get like first, second, or third place, right? I had never done anything like that before. So this is before I became a trainer. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this. And so, I was going, giving it my all. And so I met this dude, this Puerto Rican dude who used to be a bodybuilder. I mean, he won awards and contests and stuff. He had trophies and whatnot. So dude knew what he was doing. You understand? I want to put that in there so you would understand. He's not just a talker like a gym rat. This guy was a professional and won. Yes, Robin, I was going to use that term in a little bit. This guy won contests, trophies, medals, all kind of stuff. Okay, purses. I mean, he was a pro. So now here's, you got a little girl, this girl that you trying to date, and she's a rank amateur, and she's trying to win something to lose body fat and stuff. You have the background and experience to actually help her be successful, more so than any other man that I could think of that I knew at that time. He had it. He had like medals and shit to prove it. Okay. Do you know, instead of him stepping up and saying, babe, let me show you some tips. Let me tell you some stuff I used to do, this and that, to help me make my dream come true, at least show he was trying to support my dream, even if it wasn't gonna happen. He says to me, well, you might not win. No, you're not going to win. That's what it was. He said, okay, the second he said that, my eyes narrowed, and I said, oh, this little budding relationship is about to be over. But it could have still been saved if he had said that, yeah, you might not win, but I'm still going to help you do your best. Okay, he could have saved it, but that's not what happened. So he's like, yeah, you might not win. You're not going to win and everything. So why are you even trying? That was it. I hung up from him, and I put that number, changed his name to do not disturb number 13. Do not answer, rather, number 13. And then I went on with my life. So I don't like to delete their numbers and stuff at that time. That was before they had blocking features and stuff like they do now. So I just changed everybody's name to do not answer, 125, 75, all the, so that, it has to be a different name. So when it pop up and say do not answer, then I follow the instructions on the screen. I do not answer. That's what I started doing. And that was in the 90s. So, needless to say, that's what I'm talking about. Somebody who's going to try to break, not only be a defeatist about their dreams, but yours too. Low value man. And then the final one on the low value list is that you're not a priority in his life, okay? Nothing. He just never really has time for you. You constantly begging him for time. You begging him for attention. You begging him for affection. You begging him for some booty. You begging him for money. You need help, something. They about to turn the lights off or something. He been half-stepping at work and not going to work and stuff, so his check is short. Dude, okay, you need to do something. We got to pay this $200 PG&E bill. What you doing? Go out there and hustle and get some money. And then, they don't do it. They just, so y'all sitting in the dark. Kids and shit, you got to go to your mama's house because it's wintertime and it's cold and you don't have no lights and no electricity and the heat's off. If you got a man that you got to constantly trying to negotiate for time and energy, he got to try to fit you in. He's constantly counseling because something more important or some other people came up that's more important than him spending time with his lady. Understand what time it is. Get out of that situation. You groveling. That's not going to work. That's a low value man. And as well as he doesn't have much value on you either. Understand what time it is. Are you laughing at the herbalicious, honey? Yes. So anyway, so that's what I have to say about that. So basically, the goals of a low value man revolve around Four things. These four things are what's the main things of importance to them. Number one, to make as much money as possible. Now, this isn't for all of them, but for most of them, they want to make money. They want to make fast, easy money. Okay, that's I should have put that. They want to make as much fast, easy money as possible. Let's put it that way. And illegal or criminal activities are not barred. They'll break in your house. They'll do a home invasion. They'll run up and down the street breaking in cars to steal. People start steals of presents out their car and stuff. Snatch purses, whatever they need to do. They don't care. Holding up people on the street. They do all kind of shit, robbing banks, all kind of crazy stuff. They want to get what you got without having a job and not trying to get one. Okay, yes, himself, 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 and more about himself. Okay, they take your stuff out your house, all kind of stuff. They do all kind of egregious things. They don't care. Number two thing, this is probably should put this first. They chase pussy. Oh my God, that's like their top priority in life is to sleep with as many women as possible. Do they even cover up and use proper protection to prevent themselves from pregnancy and disease? No, they don't do that. And even if you're with them, then they come home and give you a disease because they were out farting around and not paying, doing what they're supposed to be doing to protect themselves. So they certainly aren't caring about protecting you, lady. Okay, but the first time you got some kind of STD from your man, that's the day you should file for divorce because it shows that he has no respect for you at all, none for your kids either. A lot of stuff will take you up on out of here. The kids are gonna be without their mama, and you want to stay with them, and you keep getting STD. Well, he done gave me 5 different diseases. One, that's it. That's all you get. Not supposed to be doing that. They just want to sleep with as many women as possible. That is like where they put their energy and their time. That is all that they focus on. Everything that they do is about getting some ass. That's all they think about. It's the most amazing thing. And then they say stuck on stupid. These are the ones that be old now. They in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and they don't have nothing to show for it because all they did is spend all their money and time chasing tail. They have nothing. A meager Social Security check because they hardly had any money. Why? Because they was doing number one, making as much fast, easy money as possible. So they don't have no Social Security. They don't have no 401k. They don't have no Keogh. They don't have nothing. No Roth IRA. They don't have no investments. Nothing is put aside for their senior years. So here they are doing some little measly ass Social Security check in a board and care home with this got bed bugs and stuff in it, and sitting there looking stupid with diabetes and shit. I mean, you know. I see it all the time. Part of APS work. You see it all the time. It's unbelievable. That's where they spend their time and energy. And then they be old and broke down and don't have shit to show for it. Just stupid. Old men in the club, you know what I mean? The old men, they be walking all like this, but they still trying to have that G thing going on and dressed like they a rapper and stuff. Take your old ass down to Brooks Brothers and get a suit. You old fool. Get out of them jerseys and stuff. You 67 years old. You look like a fool. Just stupid. Okay, or they do number 3, they talk about and do stupid shit that nobody cares about. They boring and unexciting. When I say nobody cares about, I'm talking about women. They want to talk to you about sports, about some ancient person that you ain't never heard of, and their sports stats and all this old stuff. Or they regale you with tales of their youth back when they was in high school and they used to be like the man and all the game that the women that they used to have and all the people that was after them and all this old stuff, right? They want to tell you about all that kind of stuff. Oh my God. Haley, how disgusting. Oh, you know what I would have done? I would have took a selfie. Oh, you're so cute. Let me take a picture. And then while I was taking it, you could press the record button. So why you stop and try to talk to me? And you recording the whole thing and I send her that shit. But you're probably not as evil as I am. But yeah, I would have had to bust him out. Oh, pervert. But I'm just saying, these are just low value men. Your cousin is married to a low value motherfucker. Who you gonna do? Trying to pick up a woman on the street and you're married. And see, then if you had got with him and been amenable to it, then he would have screwed you and took that shit home to your cousin. No, see, that's what y'all got these kind of men. You got to get rid of them. Stop making excuses for them. Because they get the benefit of being in a relationship with you, having home cooked meals and services and booty and kids and family and a lovely home life, but they're acting like rogue ass fools. They don't deserve you. They don't deserve anybody's love. Nothing. Nothing. I would have got so rid of him. And the final thing that low value men focus on, is these are the four things that the key focus of their lives. The fourth one is that they just have to have a woman. They're thirsty as hell. They just gotta have a woman. They go from woman to woman, woman to woman to woman. So that's why they want to have two or three women at the same time, lying to all of them. Again, this is the focus, from before, where they don't really have, I mean, pussy. That's it. That's all they think about. And or they have women because they don't want to have a proper job. They don't want to take care of themselves. They don't want to pay their own bills. They don't want to be responsible for themselves in any way, shape, or form. So they just live off of woman and woman and woman and woman, and they be lining up the next woman while they still living with the other woman and using her resources, her time, and her money, and her credit, and her driving her car, and all kind of stuff. And they just using women because they're not trying to be anybody of any merit. And yet, there are women that will deal with these kinds of men. It's not even dating. It's not dating. They're trying to fuck. That's all they're trying to do. They spend time with you to line up their next ass conquest. Don't even put the term dating on it because that's not what it is. They're not trying to get to know you. They're trying to see what you can do for them. There's a difference. Okay, that's not dating. That's not dating. Now let's talk about the type of man that has high value. What am I doing on time here? Ooh, okay, I'm running my mouth a bit excessively. Let me try to tighten this up a little bit. So I won't keep you guys here too much longer. I'm glad, once again, I want to thank everybody for coming for the Sunday sermon today. Please hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber to the Depths Tourism channel and the instant notification bell. Those of you who were previously subscribers, please double check, take a moment and double check your subscription because YouTube has been unsubscribing people against their will. I don't know what that's all about, but I've heard too many people complain about it to ignore it. So I just want to put that out there as well. Double check your subscription if you've been a long-term subscriber and make sure everything is still as it should be. All right. Now let's talk about you want a high value man, right? We just went over 14 things that are very common low value traits, and these kind of guys are, out there in droves. In droves. It's in droves. Yes, we had a nice collection plate so far today. I want to thank everybody. Thank everybody for your tithes and offerings at the Church of Deb. So let's move. Let's talk about this. Now, these are kind of things that you're gonna be looking for from now on. You're not gonna waste your time with these dusty bums. Okay, these men that ain't about shit. They ain't trying to do nothing for you. They're not trying to be about you. They don't want to give you nothing. And I'm talking about emotionally. I'm not talking about, buy you a Birkin bag. I mean, I guess if you got a boyfriend who's got it like that, that might be nice. I'm not into designer bags. You give me a nice leather backpack. I would like that better that I could put my laptop in and stuff. You know what I mean? Give me something that I'm going to use. I don't go nowhere where I need a designer bag. So, I mean, it wouldn't really be important to me. But for some women that's important. So whatever it is that you like, your dude is supportive of it and he gives you that. Okay. So let us start. Number one, a high value man is assertive and directed. Now, what does that mean? That means he's not going to be directing his assertiveness at everything that happens. Sometimes he's just going to ignore shit because it's not worth his time or energy. The low value man want to fight about everything. Somebody stepped on his shoes. He want to go get a gun. I mean, just stupid shit. Whereas, the dude that's high value, he's like, oh man, yeah, it's cool, it's fine. Stuff happens. People are gonna do stuff. He's not gonna take it personally. He's not gonna want to make a big deal about it. He's assertive, but when it's really required, okay, when it's necessary, he just lets shit go. He knows how to let shit go. He knows what he wants. And he goes after what he wants, and he doesn't let anybody or anything get in his way. He gonna go over it, above it, around it, underneath it, but he gonna get to make his goal happen. Okay, he has a plan, and he executes it step by step. Whether that plan is about his education, about his career, about his life in general, certain places he might want to go and travel in the world, the woman that he chooses to have. All of these are things that he has a plan in place to do, and he working on his plan, and he's not letting anybody or anything distract him. When you see a guy who has a plan, but suddenly he don't have a plan no more because he over there with LaQuanisha and shit and then made two babies with her, and now he a baby daddy paying out the ass for child support. His dreams got derailed because of that. Now he got to throw his role. He got visitation. He got kid child support payments that's, detouring the funds. He want to invest in real property and all this kind of stuff. See, that's somebody who he wasn't really being assertive and directed. He was playing at it, but then booty, he was distracted. The bright shiny booty caught his eye, and he got confused. So that's not the kind of man that you want. You want a guy who has a purpose for him. He's got a purpose and he's got vision and he has the determination to make his dreams come true. Now, this is very important because you need the guy who's got this kind of determination for himself so that he can have it for you and your kids. Okay, if you decide to have any. That's the kind of daddy that the kid will see. When I saw my father go to work all day and went to school at night because he wanted to get a degree. He didn't have one. He had to drop out because he had us. But look at my daddy go. I'm going to stay in school so I don't have to go through what he went. But I liked his determination. That man is modeling that kind of shit for his kids. You see what I'm saying? He's modeling for his woman and said, babe, I know I may not have been the best man I could be at that time, but I appreciate that you had my back and you was with me. And, he's supporting her and all this stuff. He's not like no bum, but he's trying to better himself. That's the kind of guy that you're talking about. He has goals and he's making them happen. No matter where he started, he's trying to be better. He want to be greater later. Okay, that's the kind of man you want. Not somebody who's somebody be sitting there crying on the couch, whining about what the white man won't let me do. You won't let me. I can't. Oh my God, it's just too much. Okay. Low value men chase pussy. High value men chase their dreams and their goals. And they set aside and push aside anybody and anything that's gonna keep them from getting there. Okay. So you got that kind of dude, watch him. I'm not saying he gonna keep that up and he might have some other fucked up attitudes, but he definitely got that in place that he could at least he's gonna go someplace. Number two, these are my traits of a high value man that I thought are important. He's positive. Okay, what do we see a lot online? These motherfuckers whine. Oh my God, they whine like babies. They cry about everything. Women don't like me. They leave me. They reject me. Women are evil. Women are cruel. You try to be a good man, and here they are. They don't want a good man. They only want Ray Ray and Pookie. Whining. Okay, that's just not sexy at all. That's not sexy. That's not just. There's no woman's gonna want you. I don't understand why they think that that's attractive and got their face all up there on the profile and stuff. It's just crazy. I just don't even understand it. They not even 5 letters. They just because a lot of them they done not in no group. They just whine about every damn thing. But those, yeah, them ones in the group, they do that. So you want a guy who's got a positive outlook, right? He's positive. He enjoys his life. And when he talks about things, he is infectious enthusiasm and excitement. He could tell you about stuff. He got you laughing. He's funny. Even if something was a problem, he going to tell you about it in a way that makes you laugh because he can laugh at it, right? It's a problem. Yeah, it was a problem, but he resolved it. And let me tell you about this fucked up shit that happened to me. And then by the time they finish telling everybody's just on the floor in stitches. Okay, because dude he just got it like that. He's fun to be around. He's like so positive. Any problems you have, he's like trying to figure out a way to resolve it. Dudes like this are problems oriented, solutions oriented. I mean, they don't wallow in the problem. They wallow in trying to find a solution to it, and then they move on. You got somebody crying about some shit that happened 20 years ago, and he's still crying. Oh, this girl rejected me when I was 17, and all women are evil, and all women always reject me. Oh my God, they just make me feel crazy. And the other thing about the guy who's a positive, they don't have a problem thanking people and expressing gratitude for the time and the energy and the effort and the lessons that other people have taught them. If they achieve some kind of success, they acknowledge the people who helped them achieve it. They don't try to act like they did it all by themselves. Nothing happens all by themselves. This channel did not, I mean, I do a lot of the work, but this channel wouldn't be a success without you guys. I would just be producing this wonderful content, but nobody would be watching it. I put out surveys and stuff to base the stuff on that I say on what your problems are. You contribute to my success and I contribute to yours. That is how you do things when you want to be a positive influence on people. These guys they don't have time for that, you know. Even if a dude like this stumbles and he might fall down, go scar up his knees and whatever, he gonna get right back up. He gonna jump up and be like, like shaking it off and be like, okay, that didn't work. Let me see what else, I'm gonna try something else. He doesn't give up. And he's got a positive attitude that he can make it happen. Okay. Number three, a guy that's high value is committed. He has no problem committing to his ideals, to his values, to the work that's going to need to make, his dreams come true, and to his woman. Okay, now, what does this mean? It's very important to him to establish stability in his life and provide safety and security for his mate and their children. Okay? So he commits to making that happen. He does whatever he needs to do to make it happen. He doesn't need 10 women all around him when he has that one special that he wants to build with. He wants to invest in her. He wants to invest in his relationship with her. He wants to invest in a future with her. He's all about, what's going to go on in that relationship so that they can grow in love and their children feel secure and happy, and he does what he needs to do to what I call divorce proof the marriage. You keep the communication open, you let your woman know that you love her and care about her, you have her back, she ain't going nowhere. She's not leaving. Okay, what would she leave you for? She's happy there where she is. So these guys talk whining about women that want to leave them. Well, that's because your shit is all fucked up, sir. If you had your shit together and was doing something like you're supposed to be, like a high value man, committing and growing and becoming a better man, why would she go anywhere? She would be happy with you. Okay? A high value man makes time for you. He wants to listen to what you have to say, what you think, what your feelings are, what's bothering you, what your dreams are. He wants to know you as a person. As he gets to know you, he appreciates you more and more. It's like, wow, this woman is just really something else. She is the shit. I just love her to death. She's so intrigued. She's such an interesting person. I don't like her mind work. These are the kind of things that men like that say about their women. But the only way he's going to do that is by listening to you and learning who you are. If he don't have time to listen to you, you don't have time to spend together, you don't ever really want to have a conversation with you, unless it's time for him to get some ass, well, then that's going to be a problem, and you're never going to feel really loved and accepted and desired in that relationship because he don't even know who he's in a relationship with, not really, okay? He doesn't really want to run away, he doesn't run away. When things get tough, he's still there. Y'all got to keep your communication open, though. That's the biggest struggle I think that couples have. People start getting in their feelings, and then they shut down. Don't do that. Number 5, a high value man looks good to you. Now, does he have to look good to everybody else? The answer to that question is no. I've seen some women madly in love with men that I wouldn't give a second look at, but you know what? The guy treats her really well. You can tell she adores him. I mean, they're so cute together. I mean, he not attracted to me, but he's not supposed to be attracted to me because he ain't for me. You don't have to see the value in everybody else as long as their mate does. I mean, I can see where, they're decent men, don't get me wrong. But would it be necessarily a decent guy for me? No. Just like I say, a lot of women want a guy who's what they call a God-fearing man. Well, to them, that is like the top of the heap, man that they want. To me, that's at the bottom. You see what I mean? Now, that doesn't mean that he's not a valuable person. He's just of no value to me personally. So that's what I'm saying. He has to be good, look good on paper and physically to you because you're the only one that counts. He don't have to look like, like Prince Harry. Prince Harry before he started losing his hair. Prince Harry had it going on, okay? I could see how Meghan was like, ooh, what your name is. I could see that. But, you got a guy, he's just, whatever age he is, whatever height he is, whatever weight he is, whatever nationality he is, he presents himself in a way where he presents himself at his best. And so he looks good to you. Okay, that's all that's important. Number 6, high value men respect your choices and your opinions. This is a real problem. A lot of women get dismissed. He knows he knows if he thought you were cute and hot and special and all that other kind of stuff, that most likely some other men think the same thing, right? And he knows that if you are all of those things, you all of that, that you have other choices. You could have been with any number of men, but you chose to be with him. So he is appreciative of that. Because there's something about him that you found special. And he's like, yay, yay me, you know. But that's a unique thing, attraction, opinions, all of that. Those are unique things based on our history, our thoughts, our belief systems about various different things, you know, our family dynamics, all kind of stuff go into play to make us have the opinions that we do about different things and what we desire out of life. So if yours is different from his, he still respects that because he loves you. So you don't have to agree with him on everything. You don't have to like the same food. You don't have to have the same hobbies, interests, like the same TV shows, read the same books. You don't have to have the same political affiliation or even the same religion because he respects you and your differences and you do the same for him. Okay, that's mature love when you can do that. Now, for a person who's, a relative stranger, these are the dudes like he would never ever insult or attack a woman who rejected him, for example. But he's going to show her respect. Like, he goes up to you at a party. He's like, oh, hi, how are you? This and that. Blah, 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 blah. Can I get your number? And you say, no, thank you. No, thank you. He's like, okay, well, that's fine, but I enjoyed talking to you, this brief time. Enjoy the rest of your evening, all right? Okay, he's a G. Okay, he don't get stupid. Like, bitch, you ugly old bitch, all that kind of stuff. That's a low value man who responds like that. A high value man respects the fact that you said no and that your opinions are not his and that your thoughts are not in agreement with his and that you like stuff that he don't like and vice versa. It's okay. It's all right. Everybody is okay, it's cool. Number 7, he is a gentleman. Okay? He got some fucking manners. He knows how to talk to people and treat people. He like, for instance, he'll come to the door to pick you up. He knocks on the door, ring the doorbell, whatever. He don't lay on the horn out the curb and have you walk out the house in the cold by yourself. Who does that? These little rude fucks. He calls versus sends you 900 million texts. Texting is very impersonal in case you haven't figured that out. He opens the car door. He opens the door of the restaurant. He helps you with your coat on, off. Okay? This kind of stuff. That's what gentlemen do. If you don't have a guy doing them kind of things, if you got on the bus or something, he don't get up off his ass and let some old lady sit down or something like that. You got a jerk. Okay? And he's low value. He's like, well, I'm going to sit here anyway. In the senior seat where it's supposed to be where the old people sit. Get your fucking ass up. Okay? And these kind of guys, they're respectful to everybody. Not just to women they want to bone. That's going to be the big difference. Because, they love the ones who aren't really sincere. They turn it off and on because they just trying to get something. They're trying to negotiate a deal in exchange for your coochie. Okay? But if he's sincere, then that's not going to be the issue here. He's the same with everybody. Okay? Keep that in mind. Watch what he does and how he treats people. He's not going to be rude to the little bus boy and the guy, the little clerk at the grocery store bagging the groceries, and to the little car park dude, what they call them, the ones that park your cars. He's not going to be rude to them just because he feels like, well, I have this superior job and I'm a better person than them. He's going to treat them with the respect that they deserve because they're human beings. Okay, watch how your dude acts when he's around other people and how condescending he is. If you got somebody who's like that and he treats other people like that, that's a motherfucker. Okay, it's gonna be too long before he turns that light on you. You better pay attention when you see that kind of stuff. He criticizing, picking other people apart like that and putting them down and just being dismissive and evil. He'll do the same shit to you. Don't think you're gonna escape. Number 8. You know where he is coming from. How many letters do we get through this column? Well, I don't know. I don't know how he feels about me. I don't know what this is. I don't know where we are. I don't know where this is going. I don't know what to call us if we do everything like a couple, but he hasn't made it official yet. I don't know. Okay, you don't know all that. Okay, you know what? That means you got a low value man. Because let me tell you something. When you got a dude who is high value, they know what they want, right? Didn't I tell you that earlier? They're assertive and they have goals. Okay, they go after him. They're determined and assertive. So you got a dude, and he keeps spending time with you, right? But he's not making his intentions clear. That's a low value man. The man who's high value is gonna tell you, I'm not trying to find a friend. I got enough friends. I'm trying to find me a woman. Okay, so my his approach to you is gonna be different than somebody who just wants to jack around. Okay, he gonna be there. He's going to have follow through. He's going to want to see you. He's going to want to hear your voice. A lot of women aren't used to that. They're not used to a dude who's really coming at them, direct. And I'm not talking about the full court press, what they call a love bomb thing. That's excessive. I'm talking about a dude who step by step by step by step, even if he's moving a little slow, his steps are even and forward progression. And he lets you know, not only by his words, but by his behavior, that he's got something in the works. Okay? Like my husband, I can tell you, we met in November on a blind date, the end of November. And so then we dated December, January, February, March, and April. And at the end of May, he proposed. I heard later he had been thinking about it for months, but he knew that it wasn't going to work. And then at the end of May, he asked, and I still said no, because to me it was too soon. I wasn't ready. I told him I wasn't ready. But that's what I mean, though. He was serious. He knew what he wanted, and he wasn't playing around about it. The man was like, like the Terminator. He was just like there. Even when he was busy and he really didn't have time, he would bring the work that he had to do, like stuffing envelopes for his thing or working on some spreadsheets or whatever. He would bring it to my house and do the work there so he could look at me while he was doing it. So when a man wants to be around you, he's going to let it know. When he wants to be around you, you're going to feel it. He's going to communicate that. You're not going to be trying to hunt him down. You're not going to have to be calling him. Where are you? We can't. Well, when are we going to see each other again? If you got that kind of shit going on, that's a low value man, and you just want a minute. Let it go. Let it go. Okay? He ain't about you. Unless you got, other men that you see it too. But then you wouldn't be calling him asking that kind of question then because you would be too busy with your other dudes. So that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Yeah, he makes plans. Not only makes them, but executes them. Not just pie in the sky. Yeah, we going to do this. And, next year I want to take you here and there. That's just game. That's future talk. I'm talking about the dude who says, yeah, I want to take you here on Friday. I'll pick you up at 6 o'clock. Okay, that's a plan. They just talking some generic pie in the sky bullshit. That's not a plan. That's just some smoking mirror game stuff. You don't call men. You don't ask them nothing. You don't call long enough, though. You're going to call. You're going to get that blocked. The party you are trying to reach has blocked your number. You a sucker. You free now, sucker. You free. You done free. You free like Free Willy. Bye. Okay. Number 9, high value men don't play silly games. Now most brothers they don't know how to not play a game. They swap stories about how to run games on women. That's all they do. A man who just wants to play games like that, he is so damaged. That's a damaged dude. There's nothing about him that's real. You never gonna see the real person. He's too busy trying to hide his fears and insecurities by gaming on people. That way he always gets to hide what he is, and and you never get to see the real dude. So you sit up there thinking you in love, and you're in love with his representative, not with him, because he's never going to show you who he really is. He's too afraid. He's too afraid you're going to hurt him. He's too afraid of rejection. That's not what you do. Now, keep in mind, when all this started, like in the early '90s, mid '90s, something, that pickup arts community, because this guy named Neil something wrote this book, the first one of the series, called The Game, right? And it was all about what became the pickup artist community. And I read it. The guy who had it, I borrowed it. I read that shit. And what the thing is about them is they're a bunch of dweeby, like little loser type dudes that no woman really wants. They're like defective. So what they did was come up with these schemes and games and tricks to try to manipulate the minds of silly, weak-minded women into giving them some sex. That's all it was about. They wasn't trying to have a relationship. The techniques that the pickup artist community teaches are about getting a woman into bed. That's it. So anytime a man advances past that and he meets a woman he really wants to have a relationship with, he has no tools because they haven't taught that. They've only taught them how to make short-term conquests, not how to be real and to, really develop a long-term relationship with a woman. So you got these people, they met somebody who's they actually fell in love with them. They got what they say caught feelings, and they fuck it all up because they don't know any different. They even went so far in this book. They was teaching dudes. They were telling these dudes how to go into places where there was women that do magic tricks. And I remember talking about that on my blog talk show, and I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me! You let some nigga go into a club in Oakland and start doing magic tricks and see how fast the women ride, laugh him out of there, and the brothers too. You not gonna, that shit. You could obviously tell that was some white people shit. Totally different cultures, and so the stuff that they were talking about, and what they call peacocking, wearing these weird clothes and stuff, and dressing like your ass was out of Alice in Wonderland or something. I mean, it was just so bizarre. And just men with makeup and black nails and stuff. I'm like, who wants to go and do it like that? But obviously, a lot of women did because they was getting some booty. I'm not. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is true. This is what was in that book. I couldn't believe it. And the dudes, they didn't look like nothing. It was like you got what. You got to go to a club and get a woman when she drunk, because otherwise you would never get no trim, never. That was their stomping ground. So, they played all these little games, and so, they have to feel like they need to trick women and quote run game, basically lie and manipulate you into giving them sex and then staying around to give them more. It's not about them trying to give you anything, so they're not bringing any value to your life. All that, like I said, now if you a woman that got your own stuff and you're not tripping, and all you want from him is some D, well, and that works for you, well, then let it be. But if you're really looking for a relationship, these kind of guys, you want a high value man that does not play games. Okay, you got a guy that starts trying to play little mind games on you, gaslighting, all that kind of stuff. Dump him immediately because he's not about you at all. Let's move on. I have a total of 18 of these things. This is number 10. A dude who's high value got his mind right. His mind is right. His mind, he's on point with his thinking. They know that they have value and that he has the potential to enhance your life. Okay, he knows this. He knows he has that kind of value. Now, it's not the kind of thing where he's gonna come in just flipping, money like he's a rapper or something, but he knows that he has heat to bring to make your life to like enhance certain aspects of your life or your existence. That's what I'm on. He's going to provide you with love, emotional support, this kind of stuff. The kind of stuff you can't really provide for yourself. He's going to be that man for you. Okay, he's going to be that dude. And these kind of guys was really interesting in their mind. They're not really trying to take from you like the gaming type of dudes are. He knows that his role is to give to you because he knows that a man who gives to a woman will get tenfold back once she feels like it's safe for her to give to you and you're not trying to use her and all this stuff. Women are just very giving to the people that we love. Like look how women do their kids, their parents. I mean, women are just more givers than men. So a guy who knows that and comes in the door giving to a woman, she relaxes her guards and then he just like drowning in whatever because she just gonna let it all out. And his mind is right and she feels safe and she feels secure in that situation with him to give to him. She doesn't have to hold back. Okay? That's a dude that's got his shit together. And not only is he good in a relationship, he is he brings value to everybody. Like he's the kind of guy who brings value to his work. He makes his boss look good, so his boss loves him. He's always getting promotions and bonuses and stuff. He brings value to his community. The old people, he walking up and down the street, all the old people love him. Everybody, if he's single, everybody want to hook him up with their daughter, their granddaughter or something, because he's just that dude. So that's the kind of stuff. I mean, everybody can't say enough good things about him because he exudes positivity and he's always helpful. He always has a kind word for people. He does little favors for people to make them feel better, make their life easier. He brings value to the people that he comes into contact with. Okay. Number 11. He validates himself. This is important because what high value men don't need approval and validation from other people. You got this dude talking like, you don't make me feel like a man. You don't boost my ego. You don't let me be a man. If you hear men say anything like that, especially this other one, well, women do it too. That's a low value motherfucker right there. Oh my God, get rid of him. Do not let that man into your heart. Don't do it. Don't do it. He's not willing to take any kind of responsibility or be accountable for himself at all. Everything's gonna be somebody else's fault, and he's so fucking needy for you to, build him up and make him feel like he's somebody. So these are they also don't take rejections very well or denial of whatever it is that they want. They don't deal well with that either, because to them, you giving to them and saying yes to them, and also validates him and makes him feel like he's somebody. So if you don't do that, then he doesn't feel like he's somebody, in which case he feels bad about himself, right? So that's when he's looking for you to do and say things to him to make him feel like he's the shit. And he's seems to be incapable of doing that for himself. It's just too much. Yeah. We know Bob the Builder dudes. Mm-mm. Number 12. This is a big one. Right? We hear these dudes talking about they want women to approach them and ask them all the stuff. Low value motherfuckers, all of them. A real man approaches women. Why? Because he's, what did I say at the top? Assertive and purposeful. Okay, he's got goals. Okay, and he knows that he's going to get what he wants out of life. He's going to have to put in some effort and work for it. That includes the woman that he wants. You want to sit there all passively like a little lump on the. Don't a woman respect a passive man? You're milk toast, sir. Nobody wants that. Women want a man who lets it be known what he's looking for, and that is what he's looking for is her. Okay? Now, I'm gonna never ask a man out. No, when hell froze over, maybe. But I don't plan to be around when that happens, so I guess that means that ain't gonna never happen. So, high value men approach the women that they're interested in. That's just the way it is. You see them dudes at the club, right? I used to watch them. They sit there on the wall, there'd be two or three of them together, and they see somebody that they're interested in, right? And you can see the Adam's apple just go up and down, and their eyes kind of buck because she's so gorgeous and so hot, and a little cute outfit, and she got a nice little shape and stuff, and they just like all mesmerized and stuff. And do you think they step to her? That's what I used to like about my brothers, though, because they had no fear. Act like the oldest one was basically just a hoe, but still, it was like no fear. I mean, when they found somebody that they really wanted to be with, they was cool. But they had no fear. If they were standing there, because we would go out together, and so they standing there and everything, and then they'd be like, "I'll be right back," and they shoot over there. Next thing you know, they on the dance floor getting it and got this girl's number, and they just would make shit happen. They were not afraid, and I always liked that about them. My brother, I mean, you know what I mean? I never knew that about them until we started really going out. We were older, and I started going out with them. We started hanging out at clubs and stuff, and I got to see them in action. I was like, oh, look at them. I didn't know they had that in them. And it was just really interesting. So, these guys, they do it though, since they're gentlemen, right? Remember I said that at the top. Since they're gentlemen, they're going to approach women in a way that's respectful. So even if she doesn't want to give them her number or whatever, the exchange for her is going to be a pleasant one. It's not going to be where she's feeling like, oh, that motherfucker right there, nasty attitude having so and so. She's not going to be like that. She's going to be, oh, he was so nice. Even though she might not be, and she's not her speed, or maybe she already got a dude. You don't know the situation. But whatever is the reason why she doesn't want to, deal with him is she approached her politely. He left politely, and it was all good. I hope you have a nice evening. Blah blah blah. And so then he goes on about his business. Number 13, high value men do not whine or complain endlessly. That's all we hear on YouTube is men complaining and whining. Okay, high value men don't do that. They don't do that. They're positive, right? So they usually have a lot of friends, and people want to be around them because they're so positive and just like pleasant. Being around them is a joyful moment. It's fun. People love to be around these high value men like that. Everybody enjoys being around him because he does not wallow in self pity and he does not complain all the time. Yes, Kanza, Sweet Jimmy's, well, or it's actually what you call it, Jeffrey's Inner Circle. That's where I used to hang out at Jeffrey's Inner Circle. But I just and then the San Francisco clubs too. When I felt like crossing that bridge, they used to have the 30+ club. I wore that out. But and I don't. They just once a guy starts whining, that means he's not focused on the solution. He just wants to complain over and over and over and over. Well, who you think want to hear that all the time? You're supposed to be a man. I'm supposed to be able to look up to you as like a leader, and all you women who want to submit and all this whole shit. How you gonna have a man that whines like a big baby all the time? You want a high value man who says, "Okay, babe, tell me the problem. Tell me the problem." You tell him the problem. He said, "Okay, so what was your idea for a solution?" You tell him your ideas. He might say, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Fine tune it, maybe," or maybe he has a completely different idea that incorporates some of his thinking in yours too. You never know. But if you got a high value man who's a thoughtful, considerate, together brother, he is going to come up with a solution to the problem, and you're not going to have to worry about it because that's his job to make shit happen. Okay? That's not your job to fix everything. That's his. He knows it and he handles his business like a G, right? So you don't have to worry about You're not gonna be the man and the woman at the same time. He gonna like, nah, girl, I got this. I got this. You just going over there somewhere. Relax. Give me a kiss. Oh, he's your cousin? How's old Jeffrey doing? I know I used to go down there, had the Sunday stuff. And not inner circle, inner, Inner. Well, because there's not too many of them, Clarissa. You're gonna have to, and a lot of them, you're not gonna necessarily recognize them as such because a lot of times we are, like I said, we're taught to look at external, socially approved things. Like, well, he has to have a degree. Well, does that really mean that he's that intelligent? You might find somebody who's working at a more mundane job or has his own little business who's way more intellectual, reads more, and got more going on and more fun and everything else than a dude that's got an MBA. You get caught up on the fact that he's got an MBA or a master's or something, and you don't look at what's behind all that. He's a knucklehead. Ain't nobody trying to be bothered with him because he got all these low value man traits. He just happened to have a degree on top of it. You got to look deeper, okay? You got to look deeper. And some of that involves asking some hard questions and really being observant and not ignoring red flags. So many of you you're focusing on the relationship and not focusing on the man that you having it with. And I'm trying to get you to change that thinking. Okay, now let's move on and talk about number 14. We got four more. High value men are dependable and responsive. Okay, so you tell him that something's bothering you, he's gonna be like, "Babe, really? Well, tell me what's going on." You tell him, "Well, what do you want me to do to fix that?" And you tell him that. Or if he can't do it exactly that way, he's gonna tell you that y'all come up with a compromise. Okay, but he's listening to you. He's responding to your concerns. He's not blowing you off. That's what a lot of these dudes do. The woman is complaining to him. We don't spend enough time together. I don't really feel like I know you anymore. I don't blah blah blah. Oh, that's good, Robin. They don't know. They don't know. And so then you want a man who is going to respond to the things that are bothering you because you want your relationship to be better. You got a guy who, the problems to be resolved so y'all two can go on and be in loving romantic relationship. But if a guy ignores your problems, ignores the thing that's bothering you because he's fine, he's happy. So what you talking about, I ain't trying to hear all that. So you start building up resentment, and that's how marriages get destroyed in relationships. And so the guy feels like, well, it came out of nowhere. She just broke up with me for no reason. No, fool. She been telling you for months, sometimes years, that this wasn't working for her and you was ignoring it because it didn't was something you didn't want to hear. And she finally got tired and so now she's gone. That's your fault. So if you was a high value man, you would have set your ass down and you would have listened to your woman and you would have worked it out. But no, you don't want to do that because you a low value fool. All you thinking about is yourself. Number 15, high value men support his woman being her best self. He's going to do what he needs to do to help motivate you and support you to greatness. He supports your success. Let me tell you about something I read on Facebook the other day. Somebody does, or was it Instagram? I don't remember. Anyway, somebody has like a corporate graphic design type of business. And she wrote how this dude, for his woman's Christmas present, paid, set up, and paid for her a full corporate identification package for her small business that she started. He got her new design business cards, brochures, a website, and letterhead, all kind of stuff. He paid for everything so that his woman from Christmas Day forward would have every tool she needed to be successful at her new business venture. That's what I'm talking about. That is a high value motherfucker. I was so jealous. I was so jealous. And he did that. That's his gift to his lady. That's what I'm talking about. You have dreams and you want to be a successful and stuff. And no, they already together. But he saw a future for her. He's doing what he can to bring her dreams to fruition. He's not hating on her, telling her, well, that's not going to work. That's not going to be successful. Who would do business with you? All this kind of stuff. And dude put his money where his mouth was. He wasn't just talking about it, he was being about it. Wrote that goddamn check. You saw that? I was so impressed with him. I was so impressed. Okay, Instagram, I knew it was one of them. And I was so impressed with that. That's what I'm talking about. That is how a high value man supports you being your best. He's not trying to get in your way. He's not trying to reduce your shine. He's trying to help you be the brightest star up in the fucking sky. Whatever he needs to do to make that happen. And what's important for guys to understand too, these are kind of guys who are not afraid of you being more successful than him. See, that's what a lot of guys, women too, they're afraid of it. So don't want to get a degree. They don't want to buy a house. They don't want to get a promotion. They don't want to do anything that they feel like is going to make them shine brighter than the man that they would want to, that they see coming into their future. Because he might be upset. He might be jealous. You getting a low value man and you making yourself a low value woman to fit his low bucket barrel of the bottom ass instead of going and being the brightest star that you can be. Attract a likewise bright star. Okay, because a man who's not feeling like he's the very bright star is not going to want to be with you because you intimidate him. Okay, even though they lie and say women don't intimidate them, they're fucking lying. They do. But you got a dude who's not intimidated and he's trying to help you be the best, and that he uses that. Well, shit, she just got a raise and now she making $50,000 a year more than me. I need to up my game. Maybe I need to go back to school. Or he starts pitching around sending his resume out to different places. It motivates him to be greater. He doesn't see it as like he's trying to keep her down so he can be up over her head. He raises himself up to match her. Because his woman is doing the damn thing and he wants to support her doing it. He's trying to do it too. Okay? That's what that's what I'm talking about. Okay, and number 16 rather. Your independence is exciting to him. A lot of people put you too independent. You don't need a man. They try to do that so that you'll be more dependent on them. That's a low value man too. Don't fall for that game. He's trying to keep you down. He wants you to dull your shine so he can just, by comparison, just not do nothing and be looking like he's somebody. Don't fall for that game. If you got a man that tells you anything negative about your independence, or you look like you don't need a man to say, no, well, I do, just not you. You're not of a caliber that I need, sir. You don't measure up, sir. I'm looking for a man who's on level 10. You about a 3. No can do, sir. Not working. So that's what that is. He's intimidated and he doesn't want to be more. He's satisfied in being mediocre. And he wants you to not try to be more than the mediocre that he is so that he feels great by comparison. Okay? So if he say he's a 5 and you like a 7, well, he's going to try to keep you down to like a 4. No more than a 5 so that he doesn't feel like you're better than him. Okay? Understand the game there. That's a game. And number 17, high value men are not weak. They're not weak. This is not a guy who's going to take your shit. Now, I'm not meaning he's going to cuss you out or nothing like that. But if you need to be put in check, he's going to do it because he's assertive. He has boundaries. He has expectations, not only of himself, but of you as well. And you do something that's out of pocket, he's going to tell you. He's gonna be respectful about it, of course, because he loves you, and he doesn't really want to do anything that's gonna hurt the relationship. You know, putting his hands on you and nothing like that, calling out your name. He's not gonna do anything like that. But he's gonna be like, babe, you know, blah 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 blah, and you'll be like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, babe. I'm so sorry. Okay, y'all just got over it. You see what I mean? That'll never happen again. Or babe, blah blah, whatever it is, y'all have a conversation. But he just lets you know, but he just did it in a way that was respectful. Okay, and so you go away still feeling like, oh shit, I just got chastised. But it's a way that you can laugh it off. It doesn't damage the relationship, and it doesn't impact your self esteem. You know. And then number 18, he watches how he talks to you. Okay, this is the thing. He chooses his words carefully. Okay, actually I kind of blended this into the last one. He doesn't come out and say stuff that he's, just gonna be gassing you up. Like, you meet a guy, right, and 3 or 4 days in, oh, I think I'm falling in love with you. No, nigga, you are not. You want something. You just trying to play the stupid game. But if a guy really cares about you and he's a high value man, he's gonna be upfront and honest with you. Like you want him to do something on a certain day at a certain time, and he's like, has to figure out if he can work some stuff around to make that happen. He'll tell you, babe, I can't do it. How about blah 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 because I already committed over here, or I'll see if I can move these things around and see if I can make that happen. I'll get back to you. He's gonna let you know. He's not gonna make a promise to you that he can't fulfill. He'll let you know, maybe I'll get back to you. Or no, I can't. How about an alternative date or time? Something like that. He's not going to fake. He's not going to front. He's always truthful. He's honest. And he's caring and supportive of you when you need him to be. Okay, that's the main point. All right. Yeah, women bring tradition. They sure do. We sure do. That's right. Bottom line here, in summary, I probably was going to write more, but I don't know what I was going to write because it's time for the show, and I waited till the 11th hour. Like I said, all in all, a man of high value is I mean, it's pretty irreplaceable because they're going to be on the spectrum. I mean, because what's going to be high value to each woman is going to differ. You know what I mean? These things are qualities that I think every man of high value has. Now, there may be in a different order for you. You may put more importance on something. Your order is going to be different than here. These is no particular order, but most women have an order of things that are the most important to them to the least, even though all things should be on the list. That's what I'm trying to say. So you're going to figure out what's most important to you, and so that you can find your high value dude. Okay. Yes, it was 18 things. Number 16 was your independence is exciting to him. He loves that you can handle your own shit. He's not the kind that says, you too independent for a man, you don't need a man, that kind of stuff. That's number 16. So once you have, a relationship with a man like this, it changes you. Like I said, every relationship that you have impacts you for the rest of your life. You have to be diligent about who you let into your heart, who you let into your life, who you let into your home, and who you have children by. These things are key, ladies. It could either make your life the most joyous, memorable, exciting thing that ever happened to you, or it can bring you straight down to hell and have you on Prozac and seeing a shrink and stuff because you got involved with a low value dust bucket and ruined your life. Ruined it. A lot of women will come back and say, well, I made it work. I made it work. Yeah, but you didn't have to do that. You could have just, chose a different dude or used birth control, got an abortion, all kind of stuff. You had options that you could have done besides let this man come up and permanently fuck up your life. It was bad enough that you're going to remember the horrible things he did to you and said to you the rest of your life, but you didn't have to have no kids with him that you got to, that to me is just the ultimate when you got a dusty. Why are you having a baby? What's wrong with you? Stop doing that. But to me, having a high value man will change your life for the better. So don't settle. Don't settle. You're gonna see a lot of people that'll say, um, "Well, I'm not here to tell people what to take." because my thing is this, Rixie, Pixie. You don't need to take nothing if you choose a man that's got some fucking sense. Okay? You don't want need to take anything. You won't need to use sea moss, and you won't need to take Prozac either, because your life will be joyous and your shit will be straight. Okay? You won't be getting upset and depressed. That won't be an issue because you got a man who's got some sense. I already talked about that, Mariana, and I said absolutely it's on the community wall. I'm not going to address it. I refuse to touch it. I'm not giving him no play. I don't give a fuck what that nappy-headed, ugly-looking troll says, and I suggest that you do too. He's gotten entirely too much play from other black women, and I think that sisters need to get it together and stop with that. Stop repeating that garbage that they say. Stop promoting it, making videos about it and putting it up and talking about it endlessly and giving him pub and shit. I'll never do that shit, never. So don't even ask me. So sorry, I'm going to remove that comment because I don't do that here. I don't promote bullshit. And nigga bullshit is we're not gonna do that. Those are low value men. I'm trying to get y'all to stop paying attention to low value men. Stop incorporating them into your life. Stop listening to them. Stop giving them any attention. Focus your stuff on other stuff. You don't have nothing to do. You going around YouTube looking at stupid ass niggas talk stupid shit on videos. Turn off your computer, log off, and get yourself and read a book. Do something intelligent with yourself. Even if you can't read a book because you can't go to the library, I guess, you can do an audio book or something, some ebook. Do something with yourself so that you're educating and it's going to benefit you, your mind, your children, your career is going to benefit you in some way. Looking at videos of dust bucket, low value motherfuckers on YouTube is not going to do nothing for you except get you upset and have you taking Prozac and CMOS. So stop doing that. What you put in your head, that's your responsibility what you allow in there. You all allowing stupid shit to get in your heads. And then you get all depressed and stuff and be crying and whatnot. Yeah, just stop watching that stuff. They be subscribing to that shit and getting them in the notices and supporting them dudes, all kind of stuff. It has ebooks. Oh, does it, Diana? Oh, shoot. But I don't live in San Francisco anymore. I wonder if they would let me do it, though, because when they have them interlibrary loan things that you can do, I might be able to do that. But I'm just saying, you guys, this is very important. Okay, that's why it's on the Sunday sermon. Because, the rest of the time I tend to be, we talk about stuff and I make a lot of jokes and it's fun and it's funny and stuff like that. I save the super serious topics for the Sunday sermons because they ain't shit about this funny. Okay, this is deadly serious. And you guys have got to do better. Like I said, I'll be following up on all of this and kind of reinforcing the lessons that you've been getting in the Sunday sermons. Next year, to February, from the 1st to the 28th of February, we have video a day February. If you're not subscribed to this channel already, please become one and hit that subscription button and the like button for the channel on your way out. I enjoyed everybody sitting in with me today. Thank you very much. If you have questions about this video, please post them under the video once it's fully processed by YouTube. No advice question, please use the link in the show description to submit your advice question. I will see you all on Tuesday for What the Fuck Tuesday relationship advice. I'll see you then.